Welcome everybody back to Wilder Action Birds and Bees, and this today is about why macro in-flight photography is so hard. It's so hard because we make it so hard for ourselves. It's so hard because we need the best equipment. We don't need the best equipment. You use whatever equipment you can find, and whatever equipment makes you feel like you're getting the best shots. That best equipment might not suit you whatsoever. It might not get you the results you want. You watch everybody else and you think, yeah, that looks brilliant. And you look at what they use and then you use it and then you think, this is rubbish, or I don't like this. Use whatever you can get your hands on that makes you take the best shots. It's hard because you don't learn the basics of photography. Remember, all you got to do is learn the basics and you'll know everything you need to know about taking insects in flight. It's hard because you don't learn your camera. Your camera is the tool you're going to use to get your insects in flight. So what you need to do is learn how to use that piece of equipment all the time, rapidly, smoothly, to get you the results that you need. It's hard because you expect to get the best shots straight away and you expect to get them all the time. Believe me, you're not going to do that. And what happens is you get frustrated when you don't get that. So you seem to think because you see other people's feeds on Instagram, I should be able to go out there, shoot 50 shots and come away with 50 bangers. That's not going to happen. I personally take loads and loads and loads of shots, thousands, millions of shots, and I come away with a few shots. To be honest, the better you get, the more you fail, the better you'll get. And the better you get is the more shots that you used to think were good won't be as good anymore. So what happens is it's like a gradual progression. You'll get better and better and better. You'll throw away some of the shots that you used to think were good, and you're just going to improve and improve and improve. Yes, you will miss a load of shots, but you need to expect that. That's how you learn. You learn from the missing. Make sure your frustration doesn't get the better of you. Don't give up. Keep going. It's going to happen eventually. You've just got to learn how it happens. You've got to learn your way of shooting. Nobody else can actually tell you how to shoot. You've got to have your own eye, because we've all got different eyes. We've all got different reflexes. We've all got different hands. We move at different speeds. Your way is always the best way. And you can only learn your way by you shooting your way. One big thing I'll definitely tell you is you need to learn where the insects are. Learn their environments. Learn what time of year insects come out and they actually will fly, because it's one thing to get the insect out. If you want it flying, it needs to be in a different environment. Like in the mornings, you'll find a lot of dragonflies, obviously. So this is where you'll get other macro photographers will look for dragonflies in the morning because they want the morning dew. They want them not moving a lot so they can get stack shots. But I want them moving. I want the action. I want them flying around. I want them attacking each other. I want them mating. So I need them to warm up and get out into the midday sun. You might find it a bit tricky with the light, but you definitely need them warmed up. So different times of days, different times of year, you'll find different insects doing different things. And you'll even find that certain insects won't come out at certain times of the year. So spring, you'll get your bee flies coming out. They won't come for the rest of the year. You'll see certain things that go around certain flowers at certain time of the year. You'll get things that you're expecting to come out early and they won't come out. So you need to look at the time of the year things happen, watch your flowers, watch your subjects, watch the time of year that they happen. You might need to wait till the next year for it to happen, because you might miss it the one year. The next year you need to be ready for it, because it might only be a very short space of time that you get to see that insect in that environment. Obviously, in that, weather is very important. It's important for a couple of reasons. One, for your light. You don't always need bright sunshine. You might want a cloudy overcast with the sun trying to shine through. You might want that. But you also need to look out for things like wind. High wind is no good for us because it blows them in place. It's hard enough to get an insect doing something that it wants to do. When it's getting blown around by the wind, believe me, it becomes 10 times harder. Obviously, rain is in that as well. Rain can affect that. It is nice to try. I need to do that myself. I need to try and catch more insects when it's raining. Obviously, the first thing we do when it's raining is say, I want to cover my equipment. But I personally need to get out there in the rain, at least maybe cover my equipment and try and get the insects as well. But that I think can make some dramatic shots. Most people look for the big insects and they don't look at anything else. They don't look at what else is going on. So there are a lot of small insects that fly as well, and you might never notice them. You need to sometimes stand, stop, and just look and just see what's going on around you. Insects are constantly moving, changing, doing different things. And if you don't stand there long enough to see it, you'll miss everything. And that's the only way you're going to get shots of other insects. This is for people like me that are actually scared of insects. The hardest thing that I had to do was overcome my fear of insects. Not just flying insects, any insects. I was totally scared of insects. So me becoming an insect in flight photographer, you can imagine, is quite a hard thing. One of the biggest things I do is just put the camera in front of my face, because once I put that camera in front of my face, most of my fear drops. I'll admit, when I started, it didn't. The more you get used to how the insects behave, is the more comfortable you'll become with them, and the more comfortable they'll become with you. Because the more skittish you are around them, is the more they buzz around thinking something's trying to attack us. If you just chill, become part of the environment, this won't happen. You'll just become nothing to them. So they'll just carry on about their normal everyday business. Please don't give up too easily. This is one of the major things I hear. Oh, I tried this. I tried doing the insects in flight, but it was so hard, I just gave up. It is hard. I'm not going to lie to you. It is very hard. That's why I love insects in flight, because it's a very hard subject, and the harder a subject is, the more I want to catch it, to be honest. That's me all over. I love things like that. That's what gets my energy up. That's what makes me want to get out there and get something, because it's harder to do. But if you give up, you've just given up the game. You can't get it if you give up. So all I can say to you is persevere, carry on as much as possible. Another big thing is to actually focus on insects in flight. If you're going to go out shooting insects in flight, shoot insects in flight. It's the only way you're going to get better, because if you start changing your settings to now shoot a stationary insect, as soon as you go back to the insects in flight, you have to change all your settings again. Your head's not on that. Your distance changes. Everything changes. Make sure, if you're going to do insects in flight for that day or for that hour or for that session, just focus on insects in flight, nothing else. And you'll see that you'll get more shots per session than you would have got if you were just focusing on all different things. Stay focused on that one subject. If you see a subject that you don't often see, like I just said with the focusing on the insects in flight, focus on that subject. Everything else that's going on around it, leave it alone. Just focus on that one subject, because what you'll find is you'll see that and you'll think, oh, I'm seeing it, but something else easier is happening here. I can get that later. You'll see quite often that you'll never see that subject again. It'll be a 1 in a million. That subject will never come back again. That's happened to me so many times, and I find that if I just focused at that one point on that one insect, then I could have got shots that just blown my mind. But I missed out on that because something else happened. I moved across, lost flight of that subject, and it's gone. Once it's gone, it's gone. And if it's something that doesn't normally come around you, believe me, you're not going to see it very often again. And when you do, you're going to think, that looks rubbish now. I mean, I'm pretty much going to end this now. This is the hard thing. If you're going to do it, you've got to practice and practice and practice and focus and fail and practice and practice and practice. I can't drum that into you enough. You are not going to improve on it until you practice enough. And it's the same as if you were doing birds. If you just shoot birds and they're stationary, and then once in a blue moon you go to birds in flight, you're going to find that very difficult. If you focused on birds in flight and then occasionally shot still subject, you'd find the still subject just come naturally anyway, and the birds in flight are pretty much natural anyway, because that's all you're ever shooting. So it's easier to go from shooting something difficult to something easy, rather than always shooting something easy and then trying to catch something difficult. So really, they're my top tips to try and improve yourself on catching insects in flight. Obviously, going forwards, I'm going to be showing you as much as I can. But like I said to you, it doesn't matter how much I show you, you have to go out there and learn by yourself. Yes, insects in flight are hard, but sometimes we make it hard for ourselves by not doing the simple things. And all those things I've told you, they're all simple things you can do. And if you just put them all together, you'll become better and you'll enjoy it more. And that's what it's all about. Photography is about enjoyment. And I love shooting insects in flight. It's just pure enjoyment to me. I watched David Attenborough with my kids earlier and saw an insect and I was like, oh my God, I wish I could catch that in flight. It just brings it back to me that this is winter and I really need to get back out there again. But luckily, me and my partner have just been discussing it and we're going to start saving for me for another trip to get out there. So hopefully I'll have some brilliant pictures to bring back for you. Probably won't be straight away. Got to start saving though. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Check out Birds and Bees on Instagram, Wilder Action on Twitter, X, Blue Sky. I'm on loads of different social media. Just check me out on there. You'll see my results. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment. Please comment as much as you can because it does help the algorithm and it helps me to know what you want. If you tell me what you want, I can try and get videos to you. Obviously, I'm just starting out now. I'm finding it difficult because it's not easy to just come out with content. I admire people that come out with content all the time. I'll try and do the best for you, but just comment as much as you can and I'll help you as much as I can. Thanks a lot. Happy New Year to you all.